Yo, what's good, everybody? Got another beers with Barton. It is Friday, June 24th, 2022. So I hope everyone is getting ready for a wonderful weekend. And also realize that 1 week from today, it'll be July 1st, which means half of 2022 is over. Insane to think about. So I just wanted to do a quick one today. So officially, the Supreme Court has overruled the Roe versus Wade. I think this was done in the 70s. It's an abortion right, 6-3. And so now, federally, it's illegal to have abortions. It is still up to illegal to have abortions after, I think, 15 weeks. But it's still up to the states. So states can decide. And, obviously, as most people probably thought, most of the southern states are definitely going to not allow abortions, whichever side you stand on, it doesn't mean that they're going to get rid of abortions. They're just going to get rid of legal abortions. There's always going to be a black market. So I just want to say this, a couple things. My background is I grew up pretty conservative. My dad was from South Carolina, pretty conservative Southern guy. And so most of my life was kind of shaped around those Christian, idealistic, very conservative, liberal, or very conservative social views. Obviously, as I've grown older and I've kind of grown into my own and understand more, I've gotten more quote unquote liberal to social issues for sure. Be more open-minded. I would never want to say my dad was racist, but he definitely had some tendencies that were probably not acceptable. And I've realized that, and you grow. That's what you do. Anyways, all that aside, I'm always going to be pro-life, just because the thought of killing an unborn baby is just horrifying to me. I mean, I have a daughter. I've always wanted kids, and she's an amazing gift, and I could never imagine, terminating that life. But I will say this, just to kind of wrap this all up, is two things. Is most things, as always, are always politicized. So you've got left versus right, blue versus red, and there's going to be all these like movements, and I hate that about it. Like, we kind of just think about this logically. But I will say this, I would never, as a man, so let's just be straight. There's two genders, right? There's a man and there's a woman. It's science. Figure it out. You can identify however you want. You can say whatever you want. That's fine. But like, biologically, there's a man and a woman. And that's science. So, end of discussion. And again, you can identify as whoever you want. But I'm just saying, biologically. As a man, I don't feel like anyone should be telling a woman how they should deal with their body. Now, it does take two to tango. We all know this. But at the end of the day, I have a beautiful, amazing wife, and I have a daughter. So when and I say we, because we are a family, got pregnant almost 12 years ago now, 12 plus years ago, because Michaela's going to be 12 soon. I was so excited. But if Jessica would have came to me and said, hey, I'm not ready to be a mom, I think, I want to discuss abortion. Obviously, I would have said no, and obviously she did not. But ultimately, it should be her decision, although it takes both of us. It is her body. It is her choice. End of discussion. So I'm always going to say, hey, I'm pro-life for sure, because I think the gift of life is amazing. But it's not just saying, oh my gosh, I got knocked up as a 16-year-old, or I got pregnant. Don't want to say knocked up. And now I just want to abort it because it's the easy way out. There are those situations, sure, whatever. Everyone can, be in those situations. There's health concerns here. I've had friends who were diagnosed with cancer and who had a child and were pregnant, and the doctor said, we can't do chemo, or you will, abort, terminate your current pregnancy, or you can abort, you can terminate, we can get aggressive. It's early enough, we think you can. And they had like a young daughter at the time. And they chose to live for what they knew they had, which was their living daughter. That's a personal decision. And I'm not going to say whether I agree with it or not. I agree with it. It's a personal decision. Everyone's going to have their judgment day, their day with God, if you believe in that, whatever it is. No one anyone should tell another person how they should deal with their own body, especially the government. And I have a daughter here, and I hope I'm never in a situation where my 14, 15, 16-year-old comes to me and says, hey, I'm pregnant, I made a mistake, I want to abort the body. Ultimately, even though at that young age, she ultimately needs to make that decision for herself. Not me. Not the government telling her what needs to be done. And I think anyone telling anyone what they're allowed to do medically is absolutely horrific. We're going back in time. And I'm telling you, I'm pro-life. I'm a conservative. I'm a God-fearing man, even though I don't live how I should every day. But there's no way anyone should be telling a woman, one of two genders, how and where they're able to do it. Because now you're going to create, there's going to be a domino effect where like people still want abortions. They're either going to go to other states, which is going to create all this different stuff, or they're going to find the black market. There's going to be health issues. So you're telling me if my wife was raped, I got to be careful, it's a kid's show. If my wife was, had a pregnancy that was unplanned, that she can't decide, or if there's health issues and the quality of life, it's a personal choice that no one should make a decision except that person solely and their partner, hopefully, at that point. So it's unfortunate. It's very weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I think we're going backwards in America, and I think they should have just left it alone and let people decide for themselves. So I think it's kind of a sad time in America for how much I love this country and all the good things. I think this is kind of a step backwards, as much as, again, I don't support abortion. I support free choice. I support people making their own decisions and living with those decisions. Their own morals is what I support. Anyway, so it's a very interesting world that we live in today. Roe versus Wade has been overturned. Now it's up to the states. So I hope a lot of states will stand up and still give people the rights. I know here in North Carolina, we're kind of on that verge. We're sometimes red, we're sometimes blue. We're like 50-50. Right now, it looks like they'll probably still allow abortions here in North Carolina, but you start hitting South Carolina, West Virginia, even, and then Florida and Mississippi, all those states, it looks like they're definitely going to be more leaning towards the freedom. I'm all about unborn babies' rights. I think they should be able to live, but I also think we shouldn't be telling people what decisions to be made. I think it's a very dangerous subject, separation of church and state, right? So anyways, as the father of a beautiful daughter, I hope I never have to be in this situation, but if she doesn't have the right to make a decision on her own, or make a decision, as family, ultimately her decision, but with us saying like, hey, we want to, help you through this decision, but she doesn't have a legal right to do so, it's tough for me. And ultimately, although I know I'll never be in that situation now, as I'm in my 40s, and Jess and I are not having any more kids, but if Jessica wanted to make a decision, or there's a health issue or something happened beyond her control where she decided that she would have to do that, whose right is it to tell her how she can govern her own body? Anyways, I can't get, it's a kid's show, I can't get into too much biological here, too much stuff, but not happy with America today. I think it should have been left alone. And so I thought it was appropriate to just throw something out here. And to how appropriate. Got a beer this last weekend from High Branch, Unstable. Feels pretty appropriate for America right now. A little unstable. And there's going to be riots. There's going to be, horrific reactions to this. Violence is not the answer. It's gonna be politicized. You're gonna have people from one side saying, go out in the streets and we're not gonna take it. It's unconstitutional. You're gonna have other people saying it's the Supreme Court, and then there's gonna be comparisons to all the other stuff that's happened in the past. Ignore all that. Look at the case. People need to react accordingly, and unfortunately, I don't think this is a great day in America's history. So cheers. Hopefully to better days. And just know I fully support people making their own decisions. They have their own morals and they have their own decisions to make. It's not for me to decide whether I agree with it or not. Everyone has an opinion, and that's fine, but I cannot tell someone what to do, because I'll tell you what, no one is telling me what to do. And that's about it. That's all I got to say about that. So cheers, hopefully for better days. Unstable, unfortunately it's accurate. I'll drink to that. All right, everybody. Until next time. Hopefully better next time. Beers with Barton. Deuces.